We teach our guys all the time to avoid distractions, and we've been here for a long time this week, and I've had some distractions with the community service we're doing, so that in no way played a part in anything that happened today, because I thought our guys were very focused going into it. I thought Dan's stuff was as good as it's been. I think the fact that we had a pretty big layoff, we hadn't played since Saturday, that's always kind of scary as a coach to have that many days off without playing, inter-squad games and seeing live ground balls, that type of thing. I think the layoff in itself probably hurt us more than anything, in the fact that their guy went out there and he did what he always does. He's hard to hit, and you can understand why his ERA is in the twos, because he's a really, really good pitcher. If you don't go into a game with an excellent game plan that you can execute, he's going to have that type of success against everybody.
How did a couple more hour delay kind of that factor into?
No, like I said, I think the layoff in itself, without being able to practice or play, this was kind of similar to coming off finals week. You don't get to play during exam week, and as a coach, you always worry about that. The first game off of a long layover. So I think that more than anything, it just took us a few innings to get into the flow of it. But once their guy caught his rhythm, and he did everything we expected him to do, but a little bit different when you're standing 60 feet away from him than when you're standing in the third base coach's box looking at him. He beat us. Hats off to him. He did a great job.
Mentioned the layoff. Was jitters in the first couple innings with things that kind of happened in the field, and then leaving guys on base, or what do you think that was?
I don't think so. It's just baseball's a game that you have to play all the time to stay really sharp. Anytime that a pitcher misses a start on a weekend, it seems like he's always rusty the next weekend. It's a game that you got to be so precise with your hitting and your pitching that it's hard to take a lot of time off from this game and come back and be really sharp right away. And I think that happened to us more than anything.
Coach, I know it's been kind of an interesting trip here to Oklahoma City. Brady, I even see you have more written on your arm. You guys got interviewed by CNN, and then you come in here and didn't really have the showing that you would hope for. Can you just kind of talk about how this whole trip has gone, talking about what you guys went down the moor for, and then maybe what you're looking for as you guys go forward from a baseball perspective?
Well, I think this week is going to be etched in the minds of everybody on our team for the rest of their lives. I know it will be in mine. I got to go through Joplin when a tornado hit there, and I've been through several floods and have seen the aftermath of that stuff. But what we saw yesterday, Brady and Jacob Rice went into Moore yesterday, right into probably one of the worst hit neighborhoods, and we got to talk to some of the homeowners, and that's something that Brady can speak for himself, but that's something I'll never forget. So I told these guys 15 or 20 years from now, we'll look back at this tournament and we won't remember the scores of the games, but we'll remember what we were able to do for hopefully help some people here. And the lady that we saw up at Walmart who had just lost her home, the fact that we were able to instantly help somebody, within 4 or 5 hours of her losing her home, I think that's the kind of thing that these guys will remember more than going 1 for 3 or losing 7-2. Those memories come and go on the baseball field, but I know for a lot of these guys, maybe this week was a life changer in a lot of ways.
Then Brady, maybe can you address some of the things that your coaches talked about?
Yeah, just kind of going back with this whole week, waking up, when the tornado was, but it's just a normal day, and then before your eyes, there's just drastic, tornado that just changing everyone's lives. And with me and Coach and Jacob Rice going down to Moore and seeing the aftermath, just really hits you. You see it on TV, but when you're there in person, seeing the people sitting outside of their homes, just waiting, you know, to get a ride to go somewhere else to start their life, really. I mean, it's just it's crazy to see that, and the fact that we were, you know, so close. So, I mean, overall, I'm really glad that we could help. And, you know, like I said, it's really sad overall to see that.
Dan, the 2 bunts in the first inning, I believe, did weather, grass have anything to do with that? Did you feel like you got off the mound okay?
I felt like I got off the mound all right, and usually 99 out of 100 times I make both of those plays. It's just that was the one time where I didn't, and I thought I was making good pitches, but those guys were just putting good swings on them. Not much you can do there.
You still hit your rhythm, though, after you got through those, and you know, it was a quick game through the middle innings there. Did you feel like you had recovered from that? What was that process like for you to just put those behind you?
Well, after the first couple innings, I went back to a back room, just counted to 10, just closed my eyes and said, all right, we're just going to start over. And then after that, we just went on from there.
Kansas's coach said, you know, they knew you were aggressive early in pitch counts and hitting fastballs. They kind of tried to pitch to that. Did you expect that too? And is that part of a cat and mouse game where maybe you might have wanted to be a little more patient when a guy has his rhythms, getting those quick innings?
You know, we went into it with the game plan that we wanted to against him. He had his game plan that he wanted to go into it against us. And good pitching beats good hitting all the time. You know, best hitters in the world make 7 outs out of 10. So when a pitcher's on and when he's cooking, that guy's hard to beat. He's really good. He doesn't do anything flashy or nothing special. But if you're a young pitcher and want to watch how to pitch, it's command your fastball and throw your off-speed pitches for strikes. And this guy had a lot of command of his fastball. It's hard to hit when a guy does that. And that's us. We didn't lose this game. He went out there and beat us. He's a great pitcher, one of the best in the league, and all the credit goes to him.
The double play in the 8th was obviously a big play as well. Is that a little bit of a base running error, or is that just a thing that you live with that happens? Because obviously Ryan put a great swing on the ball.
Yeah, he did. That's there's not many base runners in the world that wouldn't get doubled off on that, because it was a little bit to the second baseman's right to start with. He had some momentum going that direction. You know, we went into, anytime you're down in the game, you want to go into the latter innings, and you can just get the tying run to the plate. It seems like you always have a chance to win. And we had the tying run at the plate. It happened to be our best home run hitter. They fell behind in the count, so the stars were kind of aligned for something good to happen there. And that was just bad luck that Ryan put a great swing on that ball, hit it right at him. If he doesn't hit it right at him, you know, score 6-4, and it's a whole different ball game. So, but that's baseball. You know, you can't. All you can do is put the swing on it. After that, everything's out of your hands, and you can't worry about the things you can't control, and you just have to hit it right at them.
You said a little bit earlier that you were concerned about how your team plays, or anybody plays after they've had a layoff. Harrison's obviously had a lot longer. Has he done anything? Have you changed his, you know, off days, approach the way he's throwing to try to make him sharper, keep him sharper for tomorrow?
Yeah, you know, he's had an extra bullpen or 2 session in there because he's, like you said, he's had a layoff. So the first 2 or 3 innings with Harrison tomorrow, it's going to be pretty interesting to see how he comes out. You know, he could be this layoff has kind of thrown him off his rhythm, and we'll see how he responds. So it may take him a little while to catch his rhythm and catch his groove out there. We just need to survive those first couple innings until he finds that rhythm, and hopefully to score a few runs in the meantime.
You talked about the strategy yesterday, and what did you tell the team now? Do you look at a situation backs against the wall with the last 2 games, or?
Well, you know, if we lose one more and Kansas wins one more, then we can't win it. So we knew that going into it. If this happened, then we still had a really good fighting chance with Harrison on the mound tomorrow. He's by coach's vote, he's the best pitcher in the league. So if you're going to split the first 2 games in any series or tournament, it's better to win the second one. It gives you momentum going into the third one. So if we can win tomorrow and go 1-1 going into the Oklahoma State game, we're going to feel really good about our chances of winning.
Brady, did you feel like, you know, although Kansas pitcher obviously pitched a great game, it wasn't the overpowering type game? It seems like he really crafted the game well. Did you feel like you saw good pitches to hit and just was one of those days that you didn't get the hits you needed?
Yeah, we had saw him before, and we knew that they were going to attack the outside corner, and he did a good job of starting the hitters off with some off speed, and yeah, he didn't really overpower you, but he threw all 3 of his pitches for strikes. He just did a really good job overall, and we had times where we had some really good hits. Billy hit a ball up the middle pretty hard. We had some good hits, but it's baseball; they just didn't fall in.
Brady, kind of going off that, does it snowball, or you guys realize, when you went through that run there where 18 in a row and just couldn't get anybody on base, is that type of thing that's, you guys are all realizing, and does it kind of snowball whenever he gets in that rhythm and you guys are having trouble getting anybody on base?
Yeah, you just got to stay confident. It's baseball. You can square a ball up and still get out. We just had to keep, competing in the box and come out tomorrow. And Harrison's going to pitch a great game